Okay, we start.
Good morning, honorable adjudicators, member of the opposing team, and the audience. My name is Iqlima of Azizah. I am the Prime Minister. Today's our motion is about this House as first-generation immigrant parent of color in predominantly white country would choose to live and raise their children in an ethnic enclave. From the motion, we will give our team line that we are, as the affirmative team, absolutely agree that immigrant parent of color choosing to live and raise their children in an ethnic area or an ethnic enclave. But before we come to our actual argumentation, first, let us define some important terms in this debate. Ladies and gentlemen, what is ethnic enclave? In sociology, ethnic enclave is a geographic area with high ethnic concentration, characteristic cultural identity, and economic activity. The learn is usually used to refer to either a residential area or workspace with a high concentration of ethnic forms. For example, Chinatown, Little India, and Koreatown. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give my argument for individual perspective. We have 5 points. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about first, ethnic enclave offer new immigrants chances. Second, ethnic networks can be beneficial for the economic status. Our second speaker, the Deputy Prime Minister, will be talking about first, children adaptation, second, affordable housing, and third and the last point is safety network. My first point is ethnic enclave offer new immigrants chances and ethnic networks. Ladies and gentlemen, ethnic enclaves are often viewed as negative for the integration of immigrants with native in their new country, but it turns out that ethnic communities can help the newly immigrants or refugees to find work. This is so beneficial for both sides, for the government and also for the newly immigrant families, so that they can pay for their daily expenses. According to the new Stanford study that analyzed a cohort of asylum seekers in Switzerland, researchers at the Immigrant Policy Lab found that new refugees were more likely to become employed within 5 years in Swiss. Officials assigned them to live in their ethnic enclave. Second, ethnic enclave offer new immigrants chances. Ladies and gentlemen, by the meaning of chances is they have chances to develop contacts and also establish themselves much more quickly than making a go at it alone where there is isolation. By providing a space for the co-ethnics to create potentially beneficial relations, ethnic enclave assist members achieving economic mobility. Enclave create an alternative labor market that is ethnic specified and does not demand social and cultural skills in their host country. For example, teenagers from an immigrant parents of color can take a part-time job or a full-time job without getting a racism or discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for my arguments. It will be continued by the second speaker. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable adjudicator, the member of opposing team, moderator, and the audience. My name is Marren. I am the Deputy Prime Minister. Today, our motion is about this House as a first-generation immigrant, parent of color in a predominantly white country, will choose to live and raise child in ethnic enclave. We, affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. Our first speaker has already explained that ethnic enclave over new immigrant chance. Second, ethnic network can be beneficial to economic status. Today I will talking about my appointment. First point, children adaptation. Why am I growing up in ethnic enclave made better for the outcome of immigrant children? This question strongly relates to their theories of neighborhood effect. The concept has previously been employed by sociologists and economists when analyzing the impact of wide range of neighborhood characteristics such as poverty and crime. As we know, children are born innocent and pure, like an empty book, which still has to be written. If it the adult in their life as well as their environment that determines what their life story will be. So if they live with their own community, they will adapt easily and they will avoid them from bullying. So they will be more confident. And as I said before, children is pure and innocent. If we create a habit that enchants their confidence, they will be able to survive inside and outside their community. Second, affordable housing. In ethnic enclave, it's hard for immigrants to find a good and cheap rent for themselves and to live their kids. So if they're in their own environment, it's easy for them to find a good and cheap rent for a good house. And the second is safety network. Ethnic enclave create a safety network so their children and families, on one hand, ethnic enclave are beneficial to later in life economic success because they reduce the risk of being exposed to discriminating. So I see ethnic enclave as strong safety network provided from an instant noodles. Ladies and gentlemen, that's enough for my argument. We strongly believe this motion must be stand. Thank you.